Dear Dr. Musa Sheikh, Group CEO, Berkeley, Middle East, respected ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for inviting me to this conference and for giving me the opportunity to talk about women entrepreneurship and education. Perhaps like everyone here, I am a woman who played different roles in life. I have paved my way in the working world, but first and foremost, I am a proud mother. It would be false to say that it was always easy. To date, the journey between my different life roles have often been fraught with challenges. When I look back and recall the range of roles I have embraced in my life journey, I feel enormously blessed. To experience the obligation of being an audit manager at Dubai World Corporation is a blessing. To examine the huge responsibility of being a manager for special projects at Dubai World Corporation is a blessing. To be a chair or a member of board of governance of many leading national and regional organizations, or to be granted a professional certificate for the UAE government executive leaders, these are all a blessing for me. But along with all of that, the massive support I have received from my family to build up my educational life is one thing that I shall always cherish. My family members shared strong beliefs that the educational sector is extremely important for our nation. And since I share the same perspective about the importance of education, I have dedicated time and effort to serve the educational community life. Being the Dean of Student Services and a professor at College of Architecture, Ajman University has given me the chance to participate in examining the role of education in human life. That's why I appreciate this chance where I come here today to address the topic women in entrepreneurship and education. I am a firm believer that the cornerstones of education are at home. School is admittedly one of the major pillars of society, but values such as love, authenticity, and compassion must first be taught and provided by our families. As parents, we are role models for our children. We are their mirrors, therefore it's critical to instill fair values and equality to our daughters and sons at a very young age. If from the outset girls and boys do not receive the same education, gender bias will inevitably be shaped. I therefore urge parents to lead by example at home. Let us encourage our young people to surpass the social expectation and limit their ambitions. That limits their ambitions. This will allow us to abolish the outdated differentiation between the sexes. Consequently, we will attract and return more women talent in the fields of science, artificial intelligence, politics, and the business world. Entrepreneurship is a process of running a business of one's own. An entrepreneur has the ability to see and assess business opportunities even where other sources, human inputs, physical assets, intelligence, and creativity to achieve goals are scarce. The role of women entrepreneurship in economic growth has consistently been emphasized in the literature on economic development. Women entrepreneurships help to reduce poverty, promote gender equality, and empower women. But it has another impact, providing women with the means to improve the health of their families and finance the education of their children. Today, more women are breaking free from the traditional gender-specific roles and venturing into the business world. The steady rise in female entrepreneurs can be due to many different reasons, most of which share the same rationale as their male counterparts: passion for their ideas, the desire to become their own boss, and the need to address philanthropic causes. Women are the hub of the families in every society. They are mothers and builders of the home. Women mostly help to transmit the acceptable norms and values of the society to the younger generation, and as such, they stand a better chance to be recognized as entrepreneurs. And so, a woman entrepreneur is one who, regardless of her low estate in the society, boldly takes up the responsibility of creating and managing venture with a bit to making profit. Women entrepreneurs are women or group of women who initiate, organize, and operate any business enterprise. However, there are several barriers to women entrepreneurship: lack of education, access to finance, accessibility to suppliers, training related to business, and accessibility to labor can be some of the stumbling factors for women entrepreneurship. Several studies have shown that lack of education can be a barrier for women entrepreneurship, like Jason and Ellen at 2012, Shabana at 2011. According to the United Nations, 2003, education of women helps to reduce the poverty base of the countries with social investments made in health and a faster economic growth of the country. Early research in entrepreneurial motivation has identified a number of impacting factors, including a positive attitude towards starting a business, a willingness to risk in order to gain, a need for independence, a need to improve social status, and a drive to innovate and create new products or services. Moreover, Millman et al. At 2010 also found that there is a significant correlation between entrepreneurship education and students' entrepreneurship intentions. Unwillingness for rural women to undertake enterprise risks, and lack of the modern business methods for enterprise women. The study also reveals that one of the significant characteristics that many successful female entrepreneurs have in common includes having women entrepreneurs with higher education degrees. Moreover, these women entrepreneurs also offer better health care benefits package on the job training and education, more tuition reimbursement for students and continuing education for employees, and provide more vacation and paid leave options to their staff. Another interesting study by Sumaya and Mander at 2016 indicated that the majority of students possessed entrepreneurial attitudes. Furthermore, the study also emphasized that both students' characteristics and entrepreneurial experience were found to be associated with certain entrepreneurial attitudes. The results show that the young female students in Dubai are positive regarding the role that universities can play in fostering their interest toward entrepreneurship for their education and as the incubator for their new venture. I am here proud to say that UAE has won the first on the region in implementing and improving the legislation of empowering women in many fields. One of them is the entrepreneurship. As women, we must stand tall as we enter the business world. We no longer need to tell ourselves that we are capable, because it's now again. Now is the time to act. As an academic researcher and university professor, I can attest in all honesty that we need to determine the entrepreneurship education of women specifically to determine the different concepts of entrepreneurship education held by women and to identify the problems hindering women from acquiring entrepreneurship education. Lastly, I would add that if you have ever started a business or have the desire to do so, I applaud you. At the same time, let me suggest another mission: to pass on the sacred fire to our future generation, because the women entrepreneurship must communicate the value of our professions to the young generations. These are still too few women. There are still too few women in the business world. We must take an active part in the process of change. In that respect, I encourage the development of mentoring. As I have said before, education starts at home, but continues outside of it. With time, this must establish itself as a social and collective willingness, and I trust that even though entrepreneurship is never wrong, quite ever, each experience, every hurdle helps us realize our full potential and be better equipped in making female entrepreneurship shine. Thank you, and very.
I just need 1 minute if just for so because you are a professor and I want to take this opportunity to enlighten all of us that while teaching what you feel difference between a female brain and a male brain.
Always female students. And the difference between female and male, of course, all the new generation are, mashallah, they want to do more. They are very ambitious, but the female always they want to prove themselves. They want to prove that they can do it. They are maybe more ambitious about achievement, but of course, we can never say one thing apply for all. We have very excellent male students as well as female students, and male prove themselves in engineering, architecture, and maybe because I'm teaching architecture, architecture is a perfect field for female.
I guess you explained it in a very bright and sugar-coated way. Now we can see also that women in business, women in education is growing, and I want to appreciate Dr. Nahla Al Qassimi because she is a change herself. I want you to give her a round of applause because she also managed to finish her PhD. She's a working woman, and I guess you are a role model for all the upcoming women. You are a change yourself. I can see that that is really amazing, and I want to thank you for joining us today.